In Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, the two pillars of light and dark, Jedi Grandmaster Yoda and Dark Lord of the Sith Darth Sidious, are dueling in the Senate building. After a brief battle in the office of the Galactic Senate, the duel moves towards the Chancellor's podium. Yoda is able to disarm Sidious, but Sidious is able to throw Senate pods at Yoda, as the duel ended in a stalemate. But what if Sidious was able to defeat Yoda? How would this change Star Wars history? As you're about to see, a lot changes. As Sidious disarms Yoda with a powerful jolt of force lightning, Yoda uses Tutuminus to absorb Sidious's force lightning. Yoda feels as if he is getting the upper hand, but as they move closer together, their powers combine, causing a huge explosion of force energy. Sidious is able to cling onto a pod, but Yoda, due to his diminutive stature, is blasted further away and onto the ground, as the Jedi Grandmaster knew no more. Sidious let out a sinister cackle, as all of the remaining Jedi felt the demise of Yoda through the Force. As in canon, Obi-Wan flies to Polis Massa, where Padme gives birth to Luke and Leia, and dies due to sadness afterwards. But whereas Luke stayed with Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru in canon, Obi-Wan knew that without Yoda, Luke would have to be trained from an early age, were the Jedi to stand a chance. Leia would still be adopted by Bail Organa, as the separation of the children is still needed. Yoda, meanwhile, although no longer part of the living Force, was learning techniques from Qui-Gon, which would grant the ability for eternal consciousness. Fast forwarding to the events in A New Hope, as nothing significant has changed in between, we see Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. With the guidance of Obi-Wan and the Force presences of Qui-Gon and Yoda, Luke is able to use advanced Force abilities and be a proficient lightsaber duelist. They would eventually come out of hiding and join the rebellion, with R2-D2, being an intelligent droid, making his way to Obi-Wan's home. As before, they would make their way onto the first Death Star, but this time, the outcome would be different. Obi-Wan would serve as a bait, whilst Luke rescued Princess Leia. With a Force-attuned Luke, Leia is rescued significantly quicker, and Luke is able to assist Obi-Wan in his duel with Vader. Vader is surprised at seeing the resilience of his old master, having expected him to be weak, but as ever, his Sora-suit defense was impenetrable. What surprised Vader even further was a young man he had never seen before, attacking him with equal precision. Vader struggled to hold off the combined power of Obi-Wan and Luke, and summoned stormtroopers to distract the duo as he escaped. Obi-Wan and Luke would also manage to escape, and the events of A New Hope would continue as in canon, with the rebels exploding the Death Star. But with Obi-Wan and Luke now in the open, Sidious has had enough, and personally goes to search for the Jedi. He and Vader eventually track Obi-Wan and Luke to the foundations of the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. As Obi-Wan and Luke are searching for any remaining holocrons, they hear blaster fire, and immediately ignite their lightsabers to block the bolts. After they dismiss the Imperial troopers, out of the shadows emerged Sidious and Vader. Sidious wanted to test out Luke's abilities, and launched an attack of Force lightning at him, which Luke blocked with his lightsaber, and pressed his attack at Sidious. Sidious would stop his attack, and ignite his blades, as Vader and Obi-Wan lock their blades. Without the assistance of Luke, Obi-Wan begins to struggle, as Vader disarms his former master with a Force push. As Vader is about to strike down on Obi-Wan, to his side appeared the Force ghosts of Yoda and Qui-Gon, temporarily stopping Vader. The sight of Qui-Gon brings conflict within Vader, as his past returns to him. Not just those he had killed whilst in his suit, but also the fall of all the younglings of the temple by his blade. Obi-Wan uses this momentary distraction to summon his blade, and disarms his former apprentice, before rushing over to help a tired Luke. Luke is grateful for Obi-Wan's help, as he sensed Sidious was merely toying with him. Obi-Wan is able to absorb Sidious's barrage, as Luke is finally able to find a hole in Sidious's aging defences, and end the life of the Sith Lord. Luke rushes over to Vader, and moves to strike him down, but Obi-Wan stops him, as Vader reveals to Luke that he is Luke's father, much to Luke's surprise. The duo would use Force cuffs to tie up Vader, as they could still sense the darkness within him, and together they head off to the rebel base on Hoth, as Yoda stood beside Qui-Gon, watching proudly. That is it for What If Sidious defeated Yoda. Please like this video and subscribe for more tips, and as always, leave a comment on what if you'd like to see next. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.